So I was watching a video earlier today by Seb, who is a French YouTuber, in which he was showing demo versions and reference track versions of really popular songs. And in this video, he asks what I think is a really valid question.
Pourquoi tu gardes pas la musique pour toi? Elle est trop bien, elle défonce. Pourquoi toujours vouloir la donner? Alors la réponse, je sais pas.
So today, I'm going to try to explain why songwriters do this, why we don't just keep all of our music for ourselves and potentially become huge international stars with our compositions. Disclaimer, I am just one person, and these are my views, and they do not reflect the views of every songwriter on the planet. On top of this, as of right now, I'm still a pretty small-time writer. I don't have any major hits or worked with super famous artists, but I do think I'm qualified to talk about this because I've been making music for just under a decade now on both sides of the industry, both as an artist in its own right and as a songwriter. And I've been involved in the industry for the last 4 to 5 years. And notably, I'm friends with and work with many songwriters, some of whom have much more impressive credits under their belts. So with that all out of the way, why on earth would you want to be a songwriter? I'm going to talk about 2 main reasons why songwriters do what they do. The first one is compatibility. Many songwriters, myself included, do have artist projects on the side. I've been making electronic music as Dumu for the last 6 years, and I have a self-titled project, Charlie, where I release mainly ambient, acoustic, and lo-fi music. With that said, it's pretty reasonable to say that if I were to make a hip-hop or an R&B track, it wouldn't really fit under either of those artist projects. Sure, I could just release it nonetheless, but that's not really something that I want to do. Think of it like this. If John Mayer just released a dubstep track out of nowhere, people would be like, what the fuck is going on? So that's the first reason. Most musicians are creative people who listen to and make all kinds of music in all kinds of styles that don't necessarily fit within their artist project or their vision for what they want to be perceived as in the public eye. But that doesn't mean we're not proud of these songs, and often we do have this feeling inside of us that we want to share this music with the world even though it doesn't fit in our artist project. And what better way to do that than to give the song to someone who works in that genre, who we know will do the song justice. It's a win-win in this situation. We get to share music that we wouldn't normally get to share, and the artist we're giving the song to gets to release a new song. Don't get it twisted though. Just because a songwriter's name isn't the one that you see next to the song title doesn't mean we're not getting paid. There are hundreds of different types of agreements for this type of thing, some fairer than others. In my experience, the 2 most common ones I've had are either a buyout, where the artist you're giving the song to buys the song itself and the rights to the music and the composition, or it's a fee plus splits, where the artist pays an upfront fee for the song, and then you get a percentage of royalties earned by the song. The world of music industry payments is very complicated, and I won't get into it, but rest assured we are earning a living from doing this. We're not just giving songs away. The second main reason I'm going to talk about is anonymity. Admittedly, when you put it that way, it sounds a lot more dramatic than it usually is, but at the end of the day, there's no better way to put it than anonymity. Ultimately, when you're a writer, the only people who will ever see your name are music industry people or super avid music fans. I mean, who in the general public has ever heard of Ian Kirkpatrick or Andrew Seltzer? I'm sure you've heard their music, but I doubt you've heard of them by name. And to some of us, this is really appealing. You get to make music for a living, you get to work with really amazing artists, and in some cases you get to befriend really famous people, all without the burden of having an audience. For some context, as Dumu, I have a tiny audience in the grand scheme of things, but an audience nonetheless. And even that tiny modicum of fame and attention has sometimes really negatively affected my mental health, not to mention it has often clouded my judgment when it comes to writing music, often opting for writing something that I know my audience will respond to rather than something that I really want to write. Being famous is not fun, at least not to me, and I've experienced maybe 0.0001% of the famous experience. As a songwriter, you don't have to deal with any of that. You don't have to worry about fans, branding, content, appearance, or anything. Sure, you often have to write to a brief, you have to be easy to work with. Being a writer comes with its own challenges, but at the end of the day, you get to make music in a ton of different genres and styles, earn a living from it, and keep a relatively normal life outside of work. Not to mention the joy and fulfillment you get from helping an artist create and achieve their vision thanks to you, and of course, bragging rights to the people around you if you land a really huge placement. That sounds pretty perfect to me. So there you go. Those are, in my experience, 2 of the main reasons that songwriters do what they do. And again, these are my opinions, and I know that they're not representative of every songwriter out there, but I still felt like they were valuable to share, I guess. For me personally, I stand sort of in between those two reasons. At the end of the day, I just love music. I love making music. And as long as I can keep doing this for a living and making music and working with really amazing people, that's really all that matters to me. I hope that this video was interesting and an interesting insight into the world of the music industry and why songwriters do what they do. Yeah, my name is Charlie, and I guess I'll see you around.